Hey, Nightwalk here, and this is going to be another gameplay commentary video. This time, um, this game is on the European server. I'm in the Brindisi. This game is mostly going to be highlighting aggression control while kiting, and also getting damage inside a steamroll game. Now, spoiler alert, this is not going to last as long as your usual game, but that's just how games are sometimes, so let's get into it. So I'm in the Brindisi, we spawn in the middle, so I'm going to go to the side that has the least ships relatively, because that has the greatest, going to the side where there are the least friendly ships, that gives the highest chance of the enemies being able to push on that side, so your firepower is more useful on that side than it would be in like a pushing side. So I tend to always go to the side with the lower amount of friendlies, especially in random battles. So I'm going to try and play closer to the middle here, and now that gives two advantages. If there's nothing on this side, then I can quickly rotate to the other flank, and also since this is an Italian cruiser with the semi-armor piercing, it allows you to get kind of like a crossfire, which allows your SAP to do a lot of damage because you have a lot of broadsides. So I'm going to wait till my detection is on the cap, then I'm going to do a turnout. There's only 2 destroyers in this game, so I'm going to launch predictive torps because a lot of destroyers, they love to race up to that island on the A cap. So if there's someone who's going to go and try and contest from behind that island, then there's a chance that they might run into my torps. So I'm going to stop here and start reversing in anticipation of enemies getting spotted. You can see I'm in a kiting position. I'm probably going to be the one who's going to have to swap for myself, since this Udaloy is cap contesting from behind an island. And the first of the enemies start getting spotted. I'm still undetected, so I'm able to reverse and get as close as possible to the enemy team. You can see that the enemy is making a pretty aggressive start over at the C cap. Not much spotted over at A. We're able to grab A because of that. And I'm going to start opening up since this Frederick Gross is in range. With semi-armor piercing against battleships, you have to aim for the superstructure. There's 4 on my priority target, so I'm going to start, I'm going to go from reversing to moving now. 5 now. And that's to throw up some shots. This Buffalo actually is going where the predictive torps were, but he gets a lucky cap and he's able to fit broadside. Now that there's 6 on my priority target, I have to pay a bit more attention to my dodging, and I might even have to smoke up here because of how much fire there is. I'm not in huge danger because I'm able to dodge most of this, and I'm also not in a crossfire of any sorts. We've recognized that most of the enemy team is here, but since I got put on a double fire by this rune, I had to DCP, so I'm going to use my smoke, so I can't get relit. And now we're just gonna farm from smoke for now. We have a lot of broadsides because of our position in the middle. This is I think around 9 ships here. 3 of them are already dead on the C side, so our team on C is going to be able to push very quickly. B cap is also relatively free. And from here we're just trying to waste the enemy's time as much as possible while kiting, so that our team has the time to push through C and make a crossfire with our ships. My smoke is about to run out. I'm trying to use the last bits of it. These guys, they decided to take the long way around the island, so I'm able to sit here and arc shots over them throughout the island. I'm stopping here because I'm relatively far away and there's no one looking at me, so I can be a bit more passive. I don't want to kite too far out where I'm ineffective you want to keep kind of like a safe distance where you're able to dodge the fire, but you're also in range of ships. I move up here to get shots on this Frederick, and this Frederick's going to be leaving my range soon. Right now we're up like 260 points, and we're about to be up 2 caps, with B still being free. So this is a relatively, this is looking like it's won already. But, yeah, so launching more torps in case these guys push. Most of these guys are behind an island. They look like they're pushing through the one line. I'm still in a position where I have a decent amount of shots. And this Jean Bart moves up. He has 32mm armor, so going to do a lot of damage to him, just because he doesn't have the armor to stand up to the SAP shells under lead there and don't get as much damage as there could have been. This Jean Bart seems to be going for the island. Our team at sea is taking quite a long time to push around, especially since it's like one kiting Soyuz. But regardless, continuing to kite. We're kind of I start reversing here because a lot of the enemies are out of my range. They're playing very passively for what should be like an easy take for them. This Soyuz is caught bowing on the island. One of these battleships should be able to flank him and quickly take him out. It's a half HP Buki, and apart from that it's just me, so these guys should be able to move in relatively quickly. But they're taking their time. Drake gets Sevstruck, he misplayed that horribly. Now they're all gonna start pushing through the one line because that's where most of them are concentrated. You can see that their last known positions have their bows facing towards the one line, so I'm gonna reposition so I can get shots on them as they move up the one line. So that's why I'm moving westward. Our team at C, they've been able to kill the Soyuz finally, and they're moving through B. And now that we're up 4 kills and the enemy's at 66 points, we can say for sure that this game is won. Well, actually, it was a win quite a bit ago, but this is kind of just solidifying the lead. It's good that they have ACAP because that gives them some points to make sure that the game lasts a bit longer and we're able to farm a bit more damage. The Donskoy is moving broadside to try and fight the ships coming through at B, but he's probably going to die doing it. And he's also giving us our broadside, so we're able to punish that. Victor Gross is trying to flank the Soyuz. Our Soyuz is probably dead by this point. But the good thing about this position is that we have crossfire on any ships that have to angle to mid. So we're going to be able to do a lot of work with the semi-armor piercing ammo here. Just taking more shots at the Donskoy here. And now that the Soyuz is dead, I'm kind of exposed up here. But I have this island to my left, which will allow me to disengage if I really need to, and I also have my fuel smoke ready. If I really have to disengage or if I take critical damage, which I really shouldn't since I'm sufficiently angled. Yeah, I'm probably going to become the focus target of these battleships here since the rest of my team is at B and the Ibuki's left. So I'm going to try and move to the A1, A2 area so I can kind of get flanking fire on this Frederick. Donskoy is going down as expected. The Frederick de Gross and the Lion are still making their move up the one line. And as they're going to be forced to angle to the ships at B, so I'm going to have free shots on them as well. A good thing about this island also is that I can kind of lob shells over. I have the arcs to lob shells over this without being detected, so I can stealth fire for a bit here if I wait. Sorry about that. Minor technical difficulties here. So I'm going to start moving past this island. Now this Frederick de Gross is about to be under the focus of our team, calling focus fire on him, I'm going to launch some predictive torps, because he can either go bow in and run at our entire team, which means he's going to die, or if he turns out in kites, he's going to take my torps, which also means he's going to die. I can't do much damage to bow in Frederick, so I'm going to switch targets to the other Frederick on the one line. He's giving me a better angle to do damage. As expected, the Frederick turns to cut away from our team, and also to get all guns on me, so he's going to take 3 of my torps, and that should be a significant chunk of damage on him. Yeah, there he goes, he's flooding out. I still have most of my HP, and this has been a guaranteed win for a long time, so I can afford to be more aggressive. Since I have 3 heals, there's not really any huge threats to me, and also because this game is about to be over, so I need to be using my HP a bit more effectively. So I'm going to start being more aggressive here, just going to be running straight at the battleships to try and get more damage before the game ends. At this point, if any one of them die, then that's going to be automatic game over on 0 points, but they do have the ACAP taking, so that's going to buy a bit more time before so that we can get more damage. So I'm on the border here, setting up a crossfire, shooting the line right now because he has the 32mm armor, so I can get better damage on him than I can on a bow and Frederick. The plan here is I can go in and YOLO torp the Frederick. Game's pretty much over, I don't really need my HP as much, so I can afford to be more aggressive to get the damage. So I'm going to smoke up here to get into YOLO range of these battleships. I still have time before I can get undetected. I go undetected, but this Frederick has Hydro up, but somehow he miraculously still manages to stay to torp even with Hydro up. No, never mind, he dodges. But the ones he won't be able to dodge are still coming up. As long as it's giving me broadside, so I'm going to be able to get very good salvos on him. Pick up the Confederate award. The right side torps are ready. I'm just waiting. He actually turns out, which is the worst possible thing he could have done, because that just gives me more surface area to land torps on. He's on the border, which also restricts his maneuverability. The lion eats a spotted torp. Very surprising. He gets a good salvo on me, which leaves me on 1k HP. If either one of these guys die, the game is over. But yeah, that's pretty much the game. If I had a bit better reaction time, then I might have been able to pick up a double strike on the Lion and the Frederick together before I died. But yeah, that kind of highlights how you can be more aggressive with your HP if the game is close to over, or you can recognize that the game is going to be a steamroll. So you can see how at the end there I YOLO'd in to get the torps off on the Frederick, because I know I have like most of my HP. I also have multiple heals. I can go and I can be aggressive, I can get that damage. So we ended up finishing off with the Confederate high caliber 210k damage as well. So overall that was a pretty nice game. And the Brindisi.